They run, knowing not why they are being pursued, only knowing their lives depend on it. Mark is 11. Jill just turned 9 last week. Their parents told them that if anyone came for them to run somewhere safe. School seemed safe. Surely they could run there. Almost there. Just past the playground and they can bang on the doors. Surely nice Mr. Blank will be there cleaning the floors overnight. Surely they will be safe soon. Mark is shot first. He swallows his pain to implore Jill to keep running, but she won't leave him. They hear the boot steps quietly but heavily land and grind sand. Who are you? Why are you hurting us? Why? In a low voice, the answer is matter-of-factly given. Because you have no right to live. Mark was 11. Jill will never turn 10. Anne inspects the meeting hall. Not a detail evades her. The venue is pristine. The sound system has been tested. The lighting has been chosen carefully. The attendees have been vetted. A garrison of AmeriCops have considered all contingencies. She has stood by William Stryker since his first headline. It was Anne who managed his social media. It was Anne who booked his first speaking tour. While he raised his flock, it was Anne who raised his army. Anne always had an eye for talent, because she always had her eye on what she most prized: power. The pews are filled to capacity. The venue goes dark. The spotlights shine onto the pulpit. The organ music fills the ears of the quiet congregation, and the images flicker upon the screens. God's rock star takes the stage.
Super beings, the experiments, the cybernetic, the mutants, the aliens, the demonic. Our religion, our nation, our planet, our species is under siege by super beings. Super beings corrupt God's DNA. Super beings desecrate the human body. Super beings breed monsters. Super beings are the alien agenda. Super beings glamorize Satan. Super beings are out to replace God's children. This is no theory. This is fact. More and more of them are shining a spotlight on themselves every day. They can outrun race cars. They can outfly supersonic aircraft. They can outlift world-class bodybuilders. They can heal themselves while you suffer the indignities of a for-profit healthcare system. They have invented alternative power sources while you are deployed overseas to fight and die for oil. They assume humanity's manifest destiny to expand beyond the stars while you fight over what little living space is left. You struggle to live and love openly and freely while they lay low in disguise to secretly breed with your niece, your sister, your daughter. Super beings are evolution. And evolution seeks to replace us all. The man of the future will be no man at all. Today's humanity will gradually vanish. The hybrid races of experiment cyborgs, mutant aliens, and demons will replace our virtuous and noble diversity of humanity with a decadent, degenerated, and depraved mixture of super beings. To stand by and watch is to heap our religion, our nation, our planet, our very species upon a funeral pyre. Wives will be unable to obtain hospital beds for childbirth. Their children will be attending schools alongside living weapons. Their neighborhoods will become battlegrounds. Their skills will be obsolete. And if they dare speak out, it is they who will be labeled the predator rather than the prey. Meanwhile, super beings are allowed to label themselves heroes. Heroes who glamorize Satan, paganism, sorcery, and bestiality. These heroes are idolized by today's youth, celebrated like the golden calf of old, seducing the innocent away from the one true God. Our very own defender of God and country has himself been seduced into this godless scheme. For whom false gods destroy, they make mad. And the world must be very, very mad indeed to have ever allowed this. But not us. My flock, no, not us. We are a camp of saints. A last holdout. The last line of humanity's defense. Super beings are not superheroes, my friends. Jesus was a superhero. Jesus was the real superhero, and they assume his status. They copy his feats, they mock his sacrifice. They even parody his resurrection. They seek to replace him as they seek to replace us. Truly, they are Antichrist. Jesus was not an experiment, and he certainly was no mutant or alien. His power came from his soul, the Holy Ghost itself. True power comes not from a laboratory, machinery, corrupt DNA, or abominations of nature. True power comes from our very souls, gifts from God, pieces of his own Holy Ghost. But only a few of us are blessed to channel that soul into abilities far beyond those of mortal men. I have found just such a blessed. He will be a beacon, guiding our fellow man back toward God. He will shine a light exposing super beings for the Antichrist they are. He is the next real superhero, a child soldier of God. Illuminator!
Like the enduring phoenix of myth, Starfire braves the burning hellscape that is now Manhattan. She relates what her emerald eyes behold. Below, Nightwing informs Starfire to hold her position while he, along with Speedball and Cyborg, move into position. Raven conjures forth her soul by reciting her favourite prayer.
Azarath, Metreon, Zinthos!
Trigon resists the strength of her soul's tendrils. He only wants to craft the perfect world for his children. He argues with her. The mortal sphere is a realm of contradictions. The good turn evil, the evil turn good. It's uncertainty, it's chaos, it's just unhealthy. He knows what is best for her. Raven digs in her heels. She stands firm. She breathes deeply, steadily. She focuses. She chokes on her fear, her anguish, her hate. At last, she is ready. Ready to spit out the words she has been yearning to say all her life.
My memories are scars. The portals that open my body are scars. Knowing you is a scar. My entire childhood is a scar. I'm through being
Halo Punch.
Illuminator projects his own soul to force Trigon through Raven's portal, and boy is Raven pissed.
Holy.
Is that his catchphrase? Illuminator is taken aback at how Manhattan is back to normal, as if nothing ever happened. Everyone who had been in Trigon's proximity when he entered the mortal sphere is oblivious to what occurred. Raven is seething at Illuminator. His unwanted, unsolicited aid has robbed her of closure. Outraged, Raven attacks the clueless Illuminator. Nightwing and Starfire warn her that if she doesn't calm down, Trigon will enter the mortal sphere again.
You! It's always one of you! No one asked for your help. No one needed your help. You people are not entitled to help me. My life is not yours to trespass.
Raven's tirade is caught on camera by someone just seeking to pay his rent. After meditating for an hour, Raven has gained her emotional equilibrium. Craving a late-night snack, she enters the kitchen to find Nightwing waiting for her. He informs her that her outburst has gone viral, and it has caused a public relations headache for the empowered community. He explains how politics work on Earth. Optics matter. Raven then asks,
And what exactly are these optics?
Nightwing leads Raven to the Titan's Tower communications room. He unmutes the volume on one particular newsfeed.
A new report connects a rise in hate crimes with the expansion of a new megachurch. The Southern Poverty Law Center reports that crimes against the empowered are rising where Stryker Ministries has expanded. The megachurch was founded by William Stryker, a promoter of human replacement theory. The theory supposes that super beings intend to replace the human race. Stryker also believes that superheroes are antichrists out to replace Jesus. Stryker himself denies any connection. He claims his ministry is pro-human, not pro-hate. However, Stryker's rhetoric is often cited by a hate group called the Purifiers, specifically the phrase, "This is the planet of the humans." Empowered leaders have yet to comment on the report. Coming up, our very own Kat Grant reports on the scintillating history of the corn dog. I am Tana Moon, and you are watching Planet Live.
Nightwing reveals that Stryker has endorsed Illuminator. He further says he understands Raven's ambivalence toward religion. He mentions her father's cult, her upbringing in Azarath, and her accosting by religious people. He also knows how new she is to this world. It would be wise for her to consider how delicate the situation is for the empowered.
I understand, Richard. I have committed a serious faux pas. What must I do to rectify this?
Nightwing advises her to apologize to Illuminator in person.
I will follow your advice, Richard.
Tonight, William Stryker hosts a very special guest. His muse, his idol, the child soldier of God himself, Illuminator.
Thank you for inviting me here, Reverend.
Oh, thank you, son. Thank you. Your visit has given everyone around here renewed faith, Illuminator. Seeing the glow of your halo reminds us God inhabits us all. And my usual conference call was livelier than usual with you on the line. I was wondering, though, that quarrel with that spawn of Satan wasn't intimidating, I hope.
Oh, Raven. She was confronting her father. She was offended I interrupted her moment to rebuke him. My aid, as it turns out, was not warranted.
A Christian's aid is always warranted, Illuminator. Do not let that woke talk confuse you. God put you here to intervene.
She wants to apologize, Reverend.
She seeks your forgiveness. She may be saved yet, dear boy. All because of you. Well, on your way then. I wish you safe journey, Illuminator. Godspeed. Yes, Anne? We need to talk. No, actually talk. I think we should pray for Illuminator.
It is late on the Upper East Side. Illuminator keeps a low profile on his way to rendezvous with Raven. They have agreed to a private discussion first, a chance to rule out any misunderstandings. Only afterward will they apologize in a public display. Anne trails Illuminator, curious as to how Raven might tempt him to her side.
You don't blink often, do you?
No, I do not. It's a side effect of my focus. I must will myself to maintain a constant state of equilibrium. Otherwise, I may let slip my emotions and my father may enter the mortal sphere again.
Has anyone ever compared you to Wednesday Addams?
Speedball has on multiple occasions. Although I understand the reference, I have never actually watched an episode. I prefer books. Have you read Screw Tape Letters? It's quite a twisted tale.
I have, actually. You ever read Carrie?
The feel-good book of the year.
That's one way to describe it.
That was a joke. Nightwing suggested I try humor to lighten the mood.
Look, I'm sorry about intruding. No, that's not accurate. Robbing you of your moment. I'm really sorry. I won't even try and pretend what that moment must have meant for you. I hope you can forgive me, Raven.
You are asking for my forgiveness? I came here to ask for yours. I have been accosted, shunned, and rebuked by those of your belief system. I meant no harm to any of them. Yet they attempted to judge me as unfairly as I did you. When I encountered you, I assumed more of the same.
No apology on your part is necessary, Raven. I understand. Why did those people...
Hate me? I am an honest person. When someone asks, I provide an honest answer. It was how children of my order were raised. When asked about my origins, I answered truthfully. That is why they hated me.
Because of who your father is?
Yes. My mother Angela was a runaway. A cult gave her sanctuary when no one else would. They gave her food, clothing, a job, a home. But rather than worship a being from the Ark of Order, they worshipped one from the Chaos Ark, Trigon, a Hell Lord. My mother was chosen to be his bride. He appeared as a beautiful man, but once the ceremony was over, he removed his mask and he...
Where did you grow up?
My mother escaped. She found Azarath Monastery. I was born under green skies and red clouds. The streets were marble, and the buildings were gold. The last area of hell unspoiled by the war among the lords. Azar, the founder of Azarath, was my mother's midwife. Azar cooed me to sleep when my first cries summoned Trigon. I was raised in perfect calm. Neither highs nor lows nor fear of becoming Trigon's portal. So, what's your story, Illuminator?
Well, I'm not from anywhere so exotic as Azarath. I'm from Tennessee. Fairview, to be exact. My mom raised me on her own. The town was already pretty conservative before Stryker opened a ministry there. Afterward, it became more so. Mom felt it was best that we attend Stryker's new church, just to keep up appearances. I mean, a woman raising a boy alone was bad enough.
Was church where your soul self manifested?
My soul self? You mean my halo?
That is one of many terms for it, when a soul emerges from a body or just surrounds it. What is often called my shadow bird is my soul self. Did yours emerge in church?
Oh, no. It happened when I was in the woods. I was helping a buddy fight off a few bullies. Then I started to glow. For a moment, the glow hovered right in front of me. like he was alive, which I'm guessing from your description, it is. I was scared, actually. I didn't know where else to go. So I wound up at Stryker Ministries. He was a different man then. Nicer. Reverend Stryker taught me to focus in order to bring it out on command. Afterward, he convinced me to become a missionary of sorts. You know, giving alms and protection to whoever needed it. And I've been doing so around 4 years now. Before that, I was never allowed to socialize much, outside the congregation.
I have a question. In Azarath, we were pretty isolated from other areas of hell. Here, it confuses me why so many orders choose isolation when everyone is so connected. By infrastructure, by technology, by economics and culture. Why?
Well, I'm not sure if I can answer that to satisfaction. Many orders choose to limit contact because they judge the world as being unclean, I guess. Anything worldly is seen as polluting the soul. Possessions pollute, ideas pollute, pleasures pollute, even other religions.
What of pain or deprivation? Can those not also pollute the soul?
I began asking the same questions after I went on mission. I realized belief systems are like a box. Exploring the world requires you to think outside the box. I've been around the world and seen so many who are not Christian, but who act more Christian than the ones I've met. Same with Buddhists, and Muslims, and even pagans. It was then I felt out of touch. I mean, growing up in the church, all music, movies, and books were curated. I suddenly knew I was raised to think only inside the box. You feel that way? I mean, growing up in a monastery?
I experienced panic attacks over it. I was around 8 Earth years when they started. I had to remain calm at all times or else Trigon would appear. Attachment was forbidden. Sentimentality was forbidden. Compassion was rationed. Nightwing judges me as not being very worldly. I find it accurate, yet condescending.
Reverend Stryker seems to practically infantilize me sometimes. Other times, it's like I'm his teen idol.
Like he's a member of your fan club? Does he have your poster on his wall?
Maybe. He edits my Heropedia page. Say, Raven, you like music?
I meditate to Paramore. I also enjoy New Order for taking depression to the dance floor. Halsey sounds too festive for me.
Well, I have tickets to a show by this old band. You might know of them, Pet Shop Boys. They're a dance act, but their lyrics are moody. So, you might like them. The show's tomorrow night, if you're interested in checking them out.
You know what, Illuminator? I think I'm starting to like you.
The next night, a son of God escorts a devil's daughter to a concert.
We could not ignore the stench anymore. So we began clearing up the mess in Speedball's room. We found a 6-inch hobo huddled over a fire of burning sweat socks. His name was Sticky Joe. He had been squatting there for months.
As he listens to Raven's humorous tale, Illuminator basks in the fact he is on cloud 9. After settling in, Raven notices the club is having a theme night. It's cosplay night with the Pet Shop Boys. Of course, their mutually favourite song is the highlight of the evening. The next few months are beautiful. They explore the mind, the body, the heart, and the soul.
Your soul self is such a beautiful color. It's not dark like mine. May I touch your soul?
I think yours is beautiful too. And it's not dark, Raven. It's a very compassionate indigo.
Oh, Illuminator. I didn't know until now. Your childhood, your scars. I know mine are...
I don't think you're scarred, Raven. May I touch yours?
Isn't this the embrace we all really want? The embrace we actually seek? The touch of compassion, understanding, acceptance. But not all see such an embrace as so vulnerable, safe, and unconditional. Anne sees only something prurient, corrupt, sinful. Stryker Ministries, The Dead of Night. William Stryker is wired. It's been another nightly conference call to his disciples nationwide. Anne knows William well. She knows he can't handle bad news after a long day. He just wants to take his pills and relax. She has stood by William Stryker from his first headline. She is his manager, his kingmaker, his power behind the throne. But William likes to stan his teen idol. Her bosses don't like it one bit. It muddles the brand. Besides, William has been pinning his goals on a child, a reflection of his own past hopes. Illuminator has got to go. And learning what Anne has chronicled will guarantee that. In the morning. For now, William Stryker ignores his heart skipping a few beats.
Hey, Nightwing and Starfire are in Gotham tonight, and Cyborg and Speedball are competing in a magic tournament. Would you like to come over?
Ordinarily, the power of Christ would compel me. But Reverend Stryker needs a friend right now. His assistant told me he's having a crisis of faith, how his message is being interpreted and all that. I think this is the moment I can reach him. Help him understand what he's been doing to people. I still would love to see you. Mad?
No, I'm proud of you. You're a hero. It's what you do. Go and help your friend. No matter how it turns out, I'm here. I'll see you later.
Later? I'm aiming for sooner.
Bye, you light bulb.
Ah, yes, thank you for coming, Illuminator. We can talk up in my rehearsal office.
Reverend Stryker?
I put my path in you, dear boy. Although we have walked different paths, our direction is always towards the Lord. Until now, I wanted to believe you could redeem that girl. I wanted to believe you were incorruptible, that you would deny temptation. Shame!
Sir, Raven is not a sinful person. She's good, decent, kind. She's not like her father. She's beautiful.
I loved you like the son I never had. I took you in. I guided you. I inspired you with the word of the Lord, and in return you inspired me. I thought you redeemed me of my worst sin.
Your worst sin? Reverend Stryker, what did you do?
It was 30 years ago. Halloween. Back before the holiday was mocked by so-called superheroes. My late wife and I were driving home, you see. We were dressed as Marvel Man and Marvel Woman, our favorite characters. She was 6 months at the time. We swerved to avoid a trick-or-treater and crashed the car. She went into labor right then. I used my training as a medic to deliver our child. But when it was born, that monster was no child of mine. My wife perished at the very sight of it. Its eyes looked right through us. It knew things no newborn would ever know. It was not innocent. It was a vessel of worldly knowledge. It was sin incarnate, an antichrist.
What happened to your son?
I smothered that devil spawn. I thought of you as the son I should have had. But you have been corrupted by sin, dear boy. Sin incarnate is that girl, and she has brought you low.
Reverend William, please put down the gun. We need to find you a counselor.
You have laid with the devil like Samson with Delilah. Shame!
Please.
Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you.
Stryker catches his breath. He ignores the momentary skips of his heartbeat. He then calls for Anne. Of course, she knows exactly what to do. The AmeriCop subscription includes an option for a very exclusive service. The next day, where is her love? She knows how the job steals one's time. However, an uneasy feeling follows her, as if tugging for her attention.
Raven. Reverend Stryker shot me. I didn't go to heaven. I didn't go anywhere. Raven, I'm scared. Where am I?
Raven convulses as images stab into her brain. Days later, Stryker appears on Planet Live to confirm Illuminator's tragic suicide.
He felt seduced into sin, that dear boy. I prayed with him, but while I was downstairs to get wholesome milk and cookies, he took his own life with a gun taken from an AmeriCop. This is why we need a superhero, to defend Christians. These super beings seduce our youth away from Christian virtue by claiming their sinful aesthetics and origins are just misunderstood. He may have died by his own hand, but it was that girl who compelled him to do it.
Raven, you don't understand how the world works. A spirit's testimony is inadmissible in court, and Stryker is well connected in American politics. Plus, he is popular among the general public. And we as a community rely on both the government and the public to do our work.
So we allow a murder to go unavenged?
No. Illuminator will be avenged. That I promise you. But Stryker is connected to many more wrongs, especially the wrong people. People whose identities we don't know yet. It's wise to—
How long? How long until Stryker is arrested? Is Illuminator's death important enough to add to the list of charges? Can you instead dethrone, or at the very least, compromise Stryker using actual physical evidence of murder?
It is then two guests teleport into the kitchen. The woman is Maria Hill, Assistant Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. The other is OMAC, enforcer for the Global Peace Agency that governs S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent Hill reveals Stryker is a pawn of Control, a human supremacist group. That group has had run-ins with S.H.I.E.L.D., SWORD, and Armor, all three of which answer to the GPA.
Raven, I understand what it means to fall in love for the first time, and to have that love end. We all think our first love is epic, and deserves an equally epic closure. But that is not how the world works. We have to be realistic here. If Illuminator is to get any justice at all.
Justice delayed is justice denied, Richard.
Meanwhile, in the cold, cold black, Illuminator shivers, exhausted. Of course, he is not actually shivering, nor is he actually exhausted. He has had no physical body anymore, only a soul, that cosmic memory of a mind.
Who's there? The black? Is that where I am? Is that purgatory? Who's talking? Who are you?
Hi, I'm Death, Death herself. Now help me help you help Raven. It's late at Stryker Ministries. William is on his usual nightly conference call.
So I propose a tribute concert to honor Illuminator. Only the finest Christian musicians of the utmost moral integrity will be invited. Plus, there will be a tribute from those who knew him back in Tennessee. Anne is sorting out the details now. I'm expecting a live feed on YouTube, ad-supported, of course. Just a moment. I need to remove my jacket. It's been a long day. Now on to other pressing matters. I think our recent branding has been...
Stryker! I know you killed Illuminator, and then had your Americops cover it up.
Young lady, if you're to trespass on my premises, please allow me to dress in a more dignified manner. Dignified is a foreign word to you, isn't it? Look at how you're dressed. My, that's basically lingerie you're wearing. Almost as undignified as the outfits worn by your teammate, the cat alien with whom your leader commits bestiality.
I don't care how popular you are. I want to hear you admit it.
Murder? Why, you convinced him to commit suicide, to squander God's gift of life. You clouded his mind, seduced his body, and convinced him to throw his life away. You know, whatever you want me to say would be said under duress. And what are your powers exactly? Whatever they are, we have only your word for it. Why, you might be a hypnotist for all we know. Any confession by me of a murder would never be believed, because I'm William Stryker, a devout man of God, and you are a satanic vigilante who dresses like a high-end hooker.
His spirit reached out to me.
Bah!
It is true. His spirit reached out to me and told me what you did. To him and to your son.
What?
Halloween, the car accident. Your son was born a mutant. He looked right through you, deep into your mind, and the mind of your wife. You smothered your own child. You called it an antichrist.
You're reading my mind. You spied on me. Is that it?
No. Illuminator's spirit came to me.
Oh, no. That's impossible. His spirit would have ascended to heaven.
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Question: how would Illuminator ascend to heaven if he had committed suicide, William?
He was meant to save your soul, but you seduced him. I was a fool for endorsing him, but now no one will know. And whatever you know will die with you. I'm sending you straight to hell, girl.
I grew up there. I'm sending you.
Raven, please.
Illuminator? It's all true. Oh God, no. No, it's all true.
Someone forgot to hang up on the conference call.
Breaking news tonight. Sources report that televangelist William Stryker has confessed to the murder of Illuminator. The infamous Stryker confessed during a conference call tonight. This was while he was being confronted by the Teen Titan Raven. Months ago, a gossip site linked Raven with Illuminator. We go live right now to Stryker Ministries in Long Island City, Queens.
We have to reach Raven or she might lose control and summon Trigon. Titans, go!
And upon hearing that battle call, Speedball goes over to the Americops, and Cyborg brings his newest invention, his Tessa skin football. Booyah indeed! And Starfire rockets to the sky.
You know I am not here to kill him.
I know. You're here to coax a confession out of him. I thank you. But you're losing your focus over me. I don't want you losing that over me. I'm not worth it. I never want to be worth that.
Andrew, I have never felt such pain before. I have never known grief until you.
Raven, Rachel, one never knows death until she places her hands on someone you love.
How do I adjust? I feel your absence going right through me, like the needle that feels the thread.
As a new friend recently told me, death ends a life, not a relationship. We never lose someone we love. We only fit them into our lives in a new way.
You touched my soul. You brought a light to my world.
And I will keep shining it there. Whenever you cry in dark rooms from fighting battles no one else knows.
I will never stop missing you.
You don't have to. I'll always be with you, in spirit.
For once in her life, Rachel Roth, the girl known as Raven, experiences a feeling she has never felt before. Peace. True peace. As for Stryker...
What? Who's that? Whose voice is that? Where are Illuminator and that girl? Where am I?
Hi, William. You've been a bad little theologian. Meanwhile, in the entrance hall, Nightwing dispatches his comrades to seek Raven.
Speedball, Cyborg, sedate Raven if you have to. I'll wipe up the rest of these rent-a-cops.
Outside, during an early morning rain, Anne attempts to get out of Dodge. However, OMAC teleports in to take her into custody. Coming in from the north, unmarked black helicopters arrive. And indeed, this party's over.
Illuminator's ghost told me all I needed to trigger a confession. I only had to make sure the conference line remained open.
Clever plan. Whoever doesn't get arrested in connection to Stryker will at least get their wings clipped. Good work, Raven.
One more thing. Being worldly is not the same as being wise, Richard, and you will never condescend to me again.
Raven? If I may ask, what was it about Illuminator that made you fall for him?
He showed me his scars, and in return, he pretended I had none.
Over the next few days, the Peanut Gallery responds to Stryker's confession and death. They are the people of Americana, the common clay of the new time religion. You know, morons. And, of course, the agents of hate are battered but, unfortunately, unbowed.
I don't want to leave her in grief.
My sweet, sweet Illuminator. What is grief but love, persevering